wood. She's gonna smash it. I could put some muscle in it. Muscle! Oh, look at that smash. Oh! Hello friends, welcome back to Science with me. I am so excited that you're joining us. My name is Dr. Erica, and today we have our sidekick Georgia, who's gonna come and help us as we do our movie props. Today we are going to be making a smashable wood board, which I am very excited about. And all these things with science, it's all about turning into a maker during our movie week, which is a lot of fun. It's always so much fun to make things. And this one, we are gonna make it out of just some foam board. So you need some foam board, which is gonna be lightweight. It's not gonna hurt if it gets smashed on top of you, but we're gonna end up making it look like a piece of wood, which will be a lot of fun. And to do that, we need some glue. So hot glue is easiest if you wanna be really, really fast, but you can always use an Elmer's glue. Georgia's gonna be my hot gluer. Then I have some plaster of Paris, and we're gonna just sort of paint this around our fake wood board so that we can get like a nice coating so we don't see all of the different layers in our foam board. And then we're gonna paint it however you want. You could paint it brown if you want it to look like wood, or maybe you want to paint it a different color. Like ours is going to be a little red, so maybe it's a piece from a barn and somebody gets really angry because the cow got out and they just want to smash something. And then you will be able to smash it and pretend and it'll all be safe, which will be nice and fun. So if you do have it, we also have our instructions on our printout that you can always download and print. But let's get started. So I have my wood foam board. I got this ruler here. Oh, and we also need this little guy, which is gonna be an X-Acto knife. So you need some parent help for this guy. And what we're gonna do is we need to transform this really long but thin, flat piece into a wood board because it doesn't really look like a wood board. When I see wood boards, I think more like 2x4 type of thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up my ruler on the side and I'm gonna make some marks that will let me cut in a spot, and it'll let me stack this up so that we can make this nice, beautiful stack of pieces that will then have sort of the thickness of a piece of wood. What do you got, Georgia?
I also have an idea to do journals.
Yes, different video. We're gonna make journals in a different video.
When it gets over here, can I try drawing it?
Oh, you know what? Why don't you try drawing it right now?
I just don't want to lose over you.
There you go. You're gonna draw right into that crack. You gotta push it against the thing. This is an important skill to learn, drawing your line on a ruler. Nice job. Beautiful.
Oh,
we'll be able to see that just fine. Careful on that hot glue gun, Georgia.
Yeah, I'm gonna move that right here.
Okay. Ready? Go for it. Beautiful. And now the number of layers that you make, you'll have to decide on how thick you want your board, because the more layers you have, the thicker your board will be. So you got to sort of decide, what kind of board am I making? How many pieces do I want it to be? Ooh, hang on one sec. There we go. You're good. All right. So I think this might be enough for us. And it'll give us enough that we can even do it again later, which will be nice. So now we are going to cut it out. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut it out. And the really important thing here is you really want a parent either nearby or doing this for you, because these X-Acto knives, they can really hurt you. All right, but when I do it, I like to press down, and then I kind of go lightly the first couple times. Just press it right against where I'm going. And it's easier, to be honest, if we stand up. All right, and we're just gonna go through and we're gonna cut it a couple times so that we get our own piece. And actually, even you can notice I don't even need the ruler after that first piece. Now, if you press too hard on the foam board on your first cut, it gets kind of funny and wobbly, and the foam inside does some funny things, which is why I really prefer to cut it in a few different cuts. I like to sort of go over it instead of trying to go really hard the first time. It's sort of a trick I have learned over time. And then you can also always check and sort of bend it back like this, and you can flip your board over and then cut along the back to get that last piece of paper. All right, so a couple of the goes that you do should definitely be really light and thin. All right, and we will just continue to cut these pieces of wood. So we haven't actually completely cut out our first one yet. We will continue to cut these guys. And remember, we go nice and light. All right, so now we have all of our pieces of wood, and you can see that if I stack them up, I get more like a bar of wood, which is great. Now, Georgia is going to help me by gluing these all in place. And at this point, you have two options. If you want to really hide the line that we're going to cut to sort of make it easier, we can do that now, and I'll show you how. And the other way would be after our wood board is ready, we make the cut to help it break on cue. But if you want to really hide it, you could choose where you want it to break. So maybe here. Yeah. And you're just going to cut through these pieces, and this will get covered up, this line, and you want to do it at the same spot on all of your pieces. So I could just, it doesn't have to be exact, but this will just help it so that you don't see the cut because we're going to hide it with that plaster of Paris, but they will all sort of line up together, and it makes it much weaker in that spot so that it will break in that specific spot. And then that helps us because we know it's going to break and it's not going to hurt our actor or our actress in this. I like bending it just to make sure. And the nice thing is with the foam board, the piece of paper will hold the two pieces together because you have that piece of paper on the back. And that's kind of handy when it comes to where this is breaking at. So you can do that if you would like to for all of them. Or again, if you wanted to, you can wait and you can do this at the end sort of with a bigger knife. You can cut your big piece. But we sort of have now introduced this spot where it's really weak, this foam board. All right? It's very weak right there. And now Georgia is going to help us glue all these pieces together. Now, if you've made your cuts already, make sure those cuts are on the same side.
Should I glue one side or just both?
We're just going to glue. So what you would do is you're just going to put a nice long strip of glue and then smush the other one on top. Yeah. Now I love hot glue for this because it will go nice and fast. You gotta go faster than that, Lovey. Yeah, there we go. And we don't need tons of it. And then we're gonna smush this guy on and into place, just like that. Beautiful.
I'm glad you're doing this part because sometimes it goes through. And it hurts my hand when it's on paper.
That's never fun. Ooh, and I think after this one you're going to need some more glue sticks, which are right next to you. Yeah. All right, beautiful. And so now we're just going to smush this one on top. And you'll notice how we're building up the height of our wood stick. Now, or a piece of wood. It doesn't look like a piece of wood yet, but that's because we're still working. We're still making on it. And you notice that it is definitely weaker in that one spot, which is great because we don't want to see it, but we do want it to be weak so that it breaks the right spot. Nice. Alrighty. Good for another one. Perfect.
One more.
One more. Beautiful.
I have to push it in. So. And then if you want, you can always glue right here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it needs to be a little bit shorter. Like, we could cut it because here it needs to be a little bit shorter.
That's okay. It's going to be this way. All right. So now we have all of our pieces together. We have sort of the shape, right, Georgia, of a big piece of wood that maybe we would build a bed with, or maybe a post. We could put a mailbox on there. It's getting that sort of, it's got the right thickness. It's looking good. but it still kind of looks like foam board, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna paint it with some plaster of Paris.
I love this.
So you just need some water and some plaster. And you're just gonna dump some plaster. It's not an exact science. We want it to be a little bit loose. Now, plaster of Paris is a chemical reaction. It will create some heat, and irrespective of time, it will, or irrespective of water being present, it will begin to harden. So you do want to think about that as you're doing it. You don't want to pre-make your plaster, because by the time you use it, it might just be hard by that point. And that would kind of not be what we want. So I'm just adding some in. A little bit of water goes a long way with plaster of Paris. It's so fine.
Is it hot?
It's a little bit warm. You're never supposed to put your fingers in plaster of Paris and let it dry. It's really bad for you.
Because then you have to...
It gets really hot.
How hot?
Like, burns you.
Like,
I know.
like if you touch the sun?
Not burn you like if you touch the sun, but it would not be good. And then you're stuck in it too. You can't pull it out. All right.
Oh,
So here we have sort of a mix. It's kind of liquidy. We can test it out by just seeing what that might be to do it. George's going to try it with a paintbrush. I just want to see real fast. Hang on. What does that look like? You know, I think we're going to make it a little bit thicker. We want it a little bit thicker than that. So we're going to add some more.
We've already added a lot.
I know.
I guess we need a lot.
All right, here we go.
That's
You've got about 10 to 15 minutes after the plaster of Paris, after you start mixing it, to get it before it starts drying on you. So you really want to think about that. And it will come out of whatever you mix it in with a lot of washing. All right, Georgia, let's try this one. Let's see how this guy is. There we go. Oh, that's much thicker and much nicer. So what Georgia's going to do is really pay attention to these side pieces. We want to kind of glue it on these side pieces to sort of hide all of those layers. Yeah, I think you need more. Here, how about this? I might even pour it for Georgia, and then Georgia can spread it. That sounds like a good plan, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Yep.
It's kind of getting on the side.
That's okay. It's alright if it gets on the sides. We're not too worried about that.
If you do get some plaster on your hands, just go to the sink and wash it off.
Mm-hmm. And it's not, a little bit of plaster in your hands is not a big deal.
Like, my mom had a little tiny
worse.
bit right there on in her thumb.
I'm not too worried about that, though. All right, and you're just going to try to hide some of the sides of this wood. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be however you're hoping it will look, okay? If you really want it to be, like, amazing, you could even have sanded this down a little bit. Those are options. All right, are we ready to switch sides?
1 sec.
What do you think?
I think I just need a little...
Oh yeah, this is looking pretty good if you ask me. All right, so let's do this side.
Just gonna put it on that, or?
No, I'm just gonna hold it up in the air. There, let's do it like this. There we go.
I think this is how much pasta I need for both sides. Both sides?
Okay. Nice.
That was only... Where should I put this paintbrush?
Wait, we gotta do this side.
Your board might be a little bit dirty. Or if you're doing this on the table.
Get it all the way up there.
It a little bit dirty. I'm standing up because I'd rather stand up. But you don't have to.
Alrighty, and then do that side.
It's like already has the stuff for it. Because of your drips.
Yeah.
Get that drip.
Get that drip.
This one doesn't need quite as much.
Let's get that side again. Beautiful. All right, and then we're just gonna smush it like that.
Wait, is it okay that I put the paintbrush right there?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm gonna assume we're not gonna do journals on this because
Yes, we'll figure that out, Lovey.
we can just move this and put the journal things right here. Okay, you need like a staple.
Alrighty.
Scissors.
So now we've got our plaster of Paris on here. We just need to wait for it to dry up. So we're gonna speed up the video. We'll wait for this to dry up and then we will come back so that we can paint it and it will be all ready for us to have an awesome smash board. And don't forget, if you want, even before you paint it again, you could add another layer of the plaster. You could sand it down. It just really depends how really you want it to look. But I kind of am really liking these little pieces sticking out of the side. It kind of looks like old weathered wood, that how the grain kind of comes apart at times. All right, so we'll be back when this guy is dry. All right, can you get, are we live? Welcome back. All right, we have had some time. Our plaster's not fully dry, but it's pretty good. And we're feeling like we are ready to paint this because right now it still sort of looks like this plaster smorgasbord. So we are gonna paint ours sort of a reddish brown. You can paint yours however you wanna paint yours. We're not going for ours a realistic wood color. We're going for more like a barn paint color. So that maybe we can get really angry at something, we'll just smash it. We'll be so strong that we broke this big piece of wood. It'll be really fun. George is gonna paint it up, and then when the paint's dry, we'll be all ready to go. All right. Oh, the paint is really adding a new dimension to it. It's an extra layer.
This looks kind of like real wood.
I know, with the paint on it, it really sort of
I know what type of
like
wood this could be. This could be redwood. Because Emmett and Sarah have it. Our friends have it. Some wood that's red, just this color.
You should go all the way at the top and all the way at the bottom. It's okay if you paint my fingers. There we go. Make sure we go all the way down. Oh yeah, this paint is really adding a whole extra layer. All right, let's do this side now.
This side's gonna be like...
It's gonna eat up a lot of paint. Whoa.
What?
Said whoa. There's a bunch of paint coming on that side. There we go. Nice.
It's fine if it gets on this side because we haven't
Fine
painted
if it gets on any side.
You just sometimes get into there.
Nice job.
Get that.
It doesn't have to be perfect though.
Long.
Because sometimes that even almost gives it like that wood look too. You know, where it's got the little holes that doesn't get quite painted.
You ever think redwood gets painted so it could be red?
Not the ones from trees. Boop.
Is this?
Good. Look at the bottom part about my fingers. Beautiful. The top part about my fingers. Beautiful. Will you give this one a wipe all the way top to bottom? Beautiful. But all those extra. All right, here we go.
Right here.
Oh, that looks cool. A little extra add. Okay, are we ready?
And this stuff makes it like wavy.
It gives it a texture.
It's bumpy.
It's very nice.
We might need more.
No, I hope we don't need more paint because we don't have more of that mix.
One
So
color.
try to make it work.
Yep. trying to use a little bit at a time, so we don't get too much.
Beautiful.
So top, bottom, there. See how it's the texture now. Let's go into this one. This one needs a lot.
It does.
The other side has some.
Maybe a little bit more paint on it.
This is how much one paint scoop did.
Did good. I don't know, George, this is kind of more fun than doing it during your school day. You get to help. We are on right now, but we'll speed up through all this, so it doesn't matter. Isn't that right, Daddy? Get up here. Nice. All right.
And let's get we have to get.
I know. I'm not sure how we're gonna get those ends.
Maybe once it's dry,
Here,
could get it.
get that guy.
Sacrifice the fingers.
Just for the piece of wood, right?
Ooh, can you get right there?
Tippity tips.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. All right, and then, ooh, can you get that? See how there's all this stuff coming off this edge? Yeah, beautiful. All right, how are we gonna do this? I don't know. Hang on. Hold. It's mostly there.
I know, because I tried to do it before.
All right. Fabulous. So Georgia has done an excellent job painting this. I can already see how it's looking like wood. Even these little pieces sort of sticking out makes it look really old. So now all we have to do is wait for this whole thing to dry. And when it's all dry, we can go smash it. We can karate chop it. We can smash it against a tree. We can show off our muscles. We could knee smash it. It'll be so much fun. And this is a great time making this, and it'll be a lot of fun smashing this. All right, so we'll come back when this is all dry for the final smash.
Can I smash it? No, I want to smash it.
Georgia gets to smash it for obvious reasons.
I mean, I made it.
Yep. Hey friends, this is our dried fake piece of smashable wood board that Georgia helped me with. I'm super excited because she is gonna smash it for you guys. It looks fantastic, just like an old piece of like reclaimed painted barn wood.
Oh, but maybe it's
all right, Georgia.
Maybe it's redwood.
Maybe it's redwood. She's gonna smash it. You gotta put some muscle in it. Muscle! Oh, look at that smash. Oh, it looks beautiful. Love it. A great smashable piece of wood. Don't show them our secrets. We hope you guys have just as much fun with this project as we did, and we enjoyed doing Special Effects Week with you guys. Have a great one.